Hello, everyone. I'm back. As you guys could probably already tell, this channel is going to be very different. And what I mean by that is I am going to just make these videos as they come to me, as I feel it, right? And as I was thinking about, I was thinking about something today. Well, first of all, let me say this first. This is for the people that are in it. Again, I always like to reiterate that. One second here. This is for the people that are in the narcissistic fog. You don't know that you don't know that you are. You don't even know that it's called the narcissistic fog. All you're doing is Googling, why is my partner treating me so horribly? Why are they calling me these names? Why are they hitting me? Why are they doing this? And then eventually you're going to start seeing the name narcissist attached to pretty much to all the questions you're asking. You're going to be like, wait a minute, what's going on here? It keeps leading back to this. I'm talking to you. So I'm gonna share my stories while in the narcissistic fog, but I didn't know I was until into the person I am today, who I was becoming. My narcissistic relationship was my cocoon. So I'm talking about the person who I was before who I am today. Okay. So I remember a couple of times, but this one specific time, I remember she had came home from grandmother's or somewhere, right? And we were in the room and she had pulled her clothes off to change and I had seen these marks on her body. One of them one of them looked like a clear handprint, like fingers, right? And another one was pretty much the same but a little bit smudged looking or something, right? And I turned to her, I said, "What are those marks on your body?" And she was like, "Oh, I don't know. I must have bumped into something." I'm like, "Where those marks are at, you would have, I don't know what you could have bumped into to make those type of marks, right?" But okay, I'm gonna try to explain this to you the best way I can for those of you that are maybe in it. I am now the person I am looking through the eyes of who I was while in the narcissistic relationship with the narcissist. Okay. Now, the person who I was then was looking at these marks and I was just confused. I was like, how could that, possibly but in the back of my mind, who I am today, which is I'm trying to put this in words. You know what those are. Those are hand marks. You need to ask her where they came from and you have to ask and make her give you an answer. Not some BS answer like, "Oh, I don't know." No, you have to. But I was in such denial in the narcissistic fog, I ignored it. Now, I can only imagine after I left the room or went downstairs, her heart was probably beating and thump. She probably texted her man, "Boy, you left these marks on my body. You got to be careful." Can you? Narcissists are nasty people. If you're with one, you are with an. You can here's an you can almost tell how a person is by their habits. I promise you it's the same, okay? The narcissist I was with, she was a very, very dirty person. Her bathroom, her toilet, let me tell you, the way she kept her toilet, it was so disgusting. I only used the downstairs toilet. So, because I knew I would clean it and it would be cleaned properly. This nasty thing would come all the way downstairs to the bathroom where I use the bathroom, and she would hover above the seats and pee and splash it all over the seat and not clean it. I'm like to myself, I'm like, why are you coming downstairs? Because her toilet was so disgusting and she didn't clean it. They're nasty people. Those are signs that you're probably with a narcissist. Her car was the same way, absolutely disgusting. Blaming it on the kids. If you're in a relationship and you see marks on your significant other's body, that's a red flag. If you let them continue to get away with that, they're going to continue to do it. The person I am today, that's obvious. When I look at that today, clearly you're having sex with somebody else because you obviously, I mean, they don't care. And if they don't care, guess what they're doing? Having unprotected sex and coming back and having sex with you. They don't care about their lives. Do you understand that? They don't. How they got there, I don't know. That's irrelevant. It really doesn't make it doesn't matter. But if they choose not to be here on earth anymore because they can't control themselves, that's their problem. And you need to let them be that. How to wake up from that narcissistic fog? Stop having sex with them. Stop. Think about your children. Realize every time they go out and have an affair on you, they're putting your life at risk. Just put that in, just think about it. Trust me, it'll start overriding the narcissistic, whatever the narcissist is telling you, it'll start to override that because you could think about your kids. Hey, you want to be here to see your kids graduate, you want to see the grandchildren, you want to see all this stuff that you're supposed to see because you're here. Don't let a narcissist cut that short because they don't care about their own lives. If you walk into this, all you got to do is like 9 times out of 10, when you come into a narcissist's life, it's usually it's usually out of control. Uh, That's a sign of their life. Period. Piles. Look, you go into their house, they have stacks of bills and unopened mail and excuses as to why, and the stuff is in other people's names. You don't want to get involved in any of that kind of stuff. None of that. Here, where I'm trying to help you guys be, is 100% peace, no arguing, no infidelity, no problems, no nothing. And when that's not in your life, guess what? It's easy to see the people's lives that it is in because they don't know anything else. All that stuff that I just put out to you guys, I just told you about, the majority of people believe all of that is normal and it's regular. No, it's only normal and regular for the people that believe it is. And when it's not, that is not part of my life. So I can see it easily. I can just listen to a way a person talks about what's going on in their lives because people love to talk about all the problems they have. And when you're a person like me excuse me, that has absolutely no problems, you really can see how many problems people have, especially the ones that believe that problems, stress, debt is just part of life when it's not. And then you add in a narcissist on top of that, infidelity, risking your life. I'm helping the people, even the people that might have gotten out by discard, or maybe you left, you're still angry at them and you still want to see who dating and all this other, if you're still wanting to know, listen, I want you to listen closely, okay? If you're still wanting to know about a person's life that did not care about yours, you're not healed yet. That's what that means. If you're trying to see what they're doing or why or who they're dating, if you're still doing that, that means you're not healed because you're trying to. You, do you see how? Do you understand how I said that? Did you hear it? You have to hear it. This is a relationship that I will never, ever, ever forget, ever, because I did so many things in such a short amount of time with this person. But the most of all, the best thing of all, I learned about narcissistic people. Not the one that everybody thinks they know. Oh, this person looks in the mirror and this. Oh no, that's nothing what I'm talking about. Nothing. What I'm explaining to you, only people that are in narcissistic relationships have been in one. y- Only those people will understand what I'm talking about. What's up, Robert? This is not the same. These individuals have problems. The one I was with was violent, physically violent, horrible person in front of me or children. It didn't matter. Nothing mattered. If you're in it right now, you have the power to get out. I'm giving you the tools. Imagine me, I'm stepping in there, I'm stepping in the narcissistic fog with you because I've been there before. So I'm in there with you. That's why you can understand what I'm saying, but you don't really understand, like, not my man, not my woman. They wouldn't do that to me. No, they're doing it. And they're getting worse too. They don't get better, they get worse. You have to, the one thing to do that you need to do to them is leave them. This will create what is called a narcissistic injury. That's a that's like a you have a window to where they're gonna be like 1-2 punched in the head. They're gonna be kind of like dizzy. They don't know what's happening. So they're kind of disoriented. That's when you need to take advantage. You get in there, get all your stuff, dismantle whatever you had tied with them. You have a window before they snap out of it and go back to normal. But you are going to have to do it. No ultimatums. Oh, if you don't do this, I'm going to do that. No, they've heard all that before. They've heard all of that, and that's before you. You're not the first. You won't be the last. But I guarantee you this: she will never forget me ever for the rest of her life. She will forever know that this channel was born because of her. As this channel grows to worldwide status, which it will be, she's gonna hear my name and know that I'm every time I mention the narcissist that I'm talking about, she's gonna know I'm talking about her. And there's absolutely nothing she can do about it. Nothing. Thank you. What's up, James? This is an added for me. This is an added superpower for me to the added one I already had already. People don't think it's a big deal. I can see narcissists now. Man, woman, it doesn't matter. Their age, it doesn't matter. I can see them. But the wonderful thing is this: they don't know that I can see them. I feel bad for those of you that are in that narcissistic fog, lost. wondering why this person is just doing the things that they're doing to you. No matter how good I was to her, it didn't matter. The better I was, the worse it got. Horrible place to be. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. But what I did was take that power and added it to my own. Thank you. Now I'm going to take this gift and help millions of other people that are trapped in those same types of relationships right now today. They don't even know. They just think, oh, it's just my boyfriend. It's just my girlfriend. It's just my husband. It's just my wife. It's just them that are doing this. No, they don't. Unfortunately, the people that are in the narcissistic fog, they don't understand that there are millions of narcissistic people like their significant other. Millions. It ain't got nothing to do with if you're black, white, gay, straight, nothing. Their narcissists are anybody and everybody. If somebody listen, if somebody's punching you in your face, are you gonna stop and say, "Hey, wait a minute, are you straight? Are you gay? Or it don't matter." You're gonna be like, "Hey, stop punching me in my face." It's the same thing. And you know what's so crazy? This is the unfortunate part. You know what a narcissist would do? They would use that to to uh to switch it around. Oh, you're just doing that because I'm gay. Oh, you narcissist. You're gonna use that, huh, narcissist? Oh, because you're black. Oh, okay, narcissist. I got you. But when you can see them, you know what you do? You don't even you act like if somebody put it this way, if I was in front of a narcissist and they tried to throw one of those cards at me, you know what I would do? Pretend like I didn't even hear it. It's like the flares that come out of a jet to divert the rockets coming at it. So it starts throwing out. That's what the narcissists do. That's what that is. It's a flare. If you go after it, if you follow it and say, "Hey, wait a minute, this has nothing to do with you being gay," that's what they did. That was a flare, and you went for it. You keep your eyes right on the target. After they're done talking, you go right back to the subject. Narcissists don't like that. Have you noticed when you're sitting down and having a conversation with a narcissist and you're trying to talk about a particular subject and they go every single place that have nothing to do with the subject at hand? That's what they do. As soon as they're done, I stay on the subject. It doesn't matter what those are flares. Don't follow the flares. Now you guys got to also understand this. Narcissists don't know that those are flares because that is normal. When they do that, people follow it. Hey, this is nothing to do with you. I'm not talking about this. Now, next thing you know, you're not even talking about the reason why you're having a conversation with this narcissist. This is how a narcissist will know that I see them because I won't follow any flares. I won't do any of that. And the whole while I'm talking to them, I'll be looking at them in their eyes directly, not looking around, not looking up and down and jittery kind of sort of no, directly in their eyes and not breaking contact, not breaking eye contact. This is a superpower, people. You understand that? Superpower. The things I see now, and I, I like reflecting, so you guys can. I think it's more beneficial that when I reflect, I put it on the mic because it's really not no benefit for me to reflect. It's not really. I don't really think about it like that, but I think it's beneficial for you guys. And this was one of those moments where And it was a couple of those moments. This is not the only. I'm just telling you about one time I saw a mark on her body, and I asked her about it, and she didn't have an answer for it. She never had an answer for any of these marks and how it could possibly happen ever. Can you imagine like that happening? She probably called him, "Boy, you better be careful. He almost caught," just giggling and laughing and doing all that stuff in the background behind your back. She had no idea what was coming. None. You can do the same. First, you got to realize that you're in the fog. Got man or woman, if they're messing around on you and you're listen, if they're messing around on you and you're staying, you are in the narcissistic fog. If they're physically abusing you and you're not leaving, you're in the narcissistic fog. If they're abusing you and you're using your kids and say, "Hey, we got to stay for the kids," you're in the narcissistic fog because you have no idea what you're showing your children. Your kids are watching. Their brains are like sponges at a very young age. They're going to grow up thinking that that stuff is normal. That's not normal. Parents putting their hands on each other, slapping and punching. No, it's not. But guess what? If you let that continue, they're going to grow up thinking that. That's exactly what they're going to think. Oh yeah, my mom, my dad slapped my mom around a couple times, but nothing big deals. What? That is a very big deal. What are you talking about? In my life, there's absolutely no accepted violence. None. I don't care if I'm a man and men do the same thing. Oh, if a woman punch you, oh, it's okay. It didn't hurt me. No, do you understand what that is? That's a punch. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You do that again, I'm calling the police. Somebody got to teach you a lesson. If it's me, I'm going to do it. What's up, QJC? I don't care what it is. The majority, it's like when you go through an experience like this, you got one of two ways. You can go back out into the world thinking that all men and women were like the narcissist that you were with, or you can take the time to learn from it and understand, oh no, everybody's not like a narcissist. Every woman doesn't cheat. Every man doesn't cheat. Now, there are people that love to be just with one person and they can do all the crazy sexual things that they want to do the same crazy sexual thing, but they don't want to do it with multiple people. They just want to do it with one person. And you ask the wrong narcissist, hey, do you believe that's possible? Oh no, heck no, man. Those are narcissistic. Yeah, it's possible. Yes, it is. There are people that do that. I'm one of them. That's a perspective, people. Every day I understand that. Guess and this is how simple it is. Every single person has their own perspective of the world. So what does that mean? That means there are billions of perspectives. That's what that means. Narcissists believe there are one. There is one. There is only one. The one they live. So every time they repeat the cycle. They do. They just repeat the cycle, start all over, do the same thing over and over and over again until they make the freedom of choice to stop. Because God gave us all the freedom of choice. We can all choose to leave, stop the bad behaviors, whatever caused it. My mom, my daddy, my brother, sister, whatever. You can choose to stop it. Just like I did. I chose to leave her. Even if the narcissist left you, it's a blessing. Thank God. But when you decide to ask God to help you leave that narcissist, God knows if you're not serious or not. I want you guys to listen to what I'm saying. He knows if you're not serious. When I asked him, he knew I was serious. And then when you ask him, guess what you got to do? You got to get out the way. You cannot interfere. You can't say, let me call them. They're not responding the way I want them to do this and that. Nope. You got to stay out of the way. Nothing. Don't do anything. Don't say anything. Don't send no text messages. Don't respond to text messages. Don't respond to voicemails. Don't respond to nothing. You stay out of the way. Mm. Sometimes I think back at those times, and because, like I said, it was more than one time when I saw marks on her body. Mm. Oh, sometimes I imagine myself going back into that exact same moment today. Oh, it would have been that would have been a very different moment. I promise you that. Very different. I would have been like, what the fuck is that? What's that on your body right there? What is that? Oh, I think I bumped. No, those look like fingerprints. You didn't bump into anything. Show me what you could have possibly listen. I would have been just like this. Show me what you could have possibly bumped into in this house right now that could have made those marks. You're gonna have to show me that. Else this relationship is over because obviously you've been fucking somebody. Obviously. That's what I would say today. That's exactly how I would have said it. But you guys got to also I realized today too that I'm a very different man today. So the possibility of a narcissist, of me being romantically involved with another narcissist in the rest for the rest of my life, it is 99% impossible. You're probably thinking, well, LJ, how could you possibly think that? Okay, first of all, she would have to be 100% debt free personally. That eliminates like 95% of women right there. It doesn't, I'm just saying, I'm talking about a woman. It could be man or woman, but I'm talking about specifically woman because I'm talking about who I would date. And then after that point, she would have to have all of her internal problems psychologically. That has to be all resolved. Because when people get together, they don't. I didn't talk about this at all. None. You think I talked when I dated a woman? Never a question did I ask was she in debt. That was never a question. Let alone talking about, hey, you got any problems, home problems, any past dating problems or relationship problems you haven't resolved? No, I never had those kind of conversations. But today, you most definitely having those conversations. You better believe it. But narcissists can really only keep up the mask for maybe a month, maybe two. So, and today, when I get to know a person, I take my time. There's no rush. There's no rush into physical sex or getting to know. Like I have to see them every day. No, I don't. I can take my time. And 9 times out of 10, a narcissist is not going to last that long anyway. They're not because they know that you, e- whether people want to admit it or not, sex is the most powerful drug on earth. It is. The narcissist just happened to use it. That's all. So now I've become unaddicted to it. So that no longer works on me no more because it's not like that for me no more. I control it. It doesn't control me. That's the difference. The because I don't want you to think I'm not having sex. I'm just saying I control it. It's not like before. It's a very big difference. And when for the men out there that are listening, I want you guys to hear me when I say this. When you control it, there must be an energy that I give off now, a different kind of uh, body. Or I don't know, but women are attracted to it. They ask different questions or something. I'm not sure. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm not walking around with a hungry look on my face. I'm still trying to figure that out. But I know it's because I control it now, not vice versa. And it has nothing to do with my age. It's from me awakening and understanding this. You will no longer accept the things that you are accepting in this narcissistic fog, especially accepting of infidelity, especially that. Once that happens in your relationship, it's over. The relationship is over, you guys. It's over. It can never, ever be that full everything. It cannot, because it has been broken, and it has been broken forever. No matter how much you work on it and do it, it's been broken. It's done. It can never reach that level of intimacy between two partners. It's been broken. You might as well just leave that relationship. I would. LJ, did you have a problem with stealing money from you? And when you confront her about it, she act like she doesn't know what you're talking about. I had that problem in a relationship before. I never had a money stealing problem from her. We did no, we didn't have those kind of problems, but I did have questions of her spending money. Okay, she would be some unexplainable spending. All right, so but not stealing, because we had a business together. So I could see everything, she could see everything. So nobody would really be stealing from anybody, really, in that particular situation. But let me tell you another thing, though, QJC. They do when you confront them and they in denial about it. I mean, it's really it's really a weird, strange thing. Here, let me give you an example. One time we was in an argument because we used to argue every single week. I kid you not, every single week. And what you guys don't know, that's a breakdown, but we'll get into that to another video. Well, one time I had because every time we would argue, I would just leave because I she could just argue and argue. They get off on that. That fuels them for some odd reason. They love to argue. Okay. Well, I don't. So I would just leave because I was in beautiful South Carolina, always sunny. So I would just go to a park and walk around and whatever, right? But then when I came back, I went to go open the door and my house key wasn't on my key ring. Okay. So obviously she took it off. So now this is not the strange part. Okay. Okay, cool. She took it off. All right. She's mad about something. So I knock on the door and I kid you not, I knock on the door and she opens the door and she looks at me. She says, "How come you didn't use your key to open the door?" I was like, "What?" I was like, okay, she's kidding, right? This is what I'm thinking in my mind. She's kidding. She's trying to be funny or something or whatever, right? So I just, I, as I walk in, I said, "I couldn't use it because you took it off the key ring." She turns to me and says, "No, I didn't." I'm looking at her like, I'm in my mind. I'm like, are you, are you saying, are you acting serious right now? She was acting dead serious that she did not take the key off my key ring. You hear me? Dead serious. And luckily, I already had a backup key, so I wasn't too worried about it. But I said, I want to see where this goes. Let me see how long she lets this go. So for a week, I pretended like I didn't have a key. And I'm thinking, I said, when are you going to give me my key back? She turned to me and said, I don't have your key. You keep saying I took it off. You must have lost it. I was like, holy shit. And do you know, a week later, guess what? My key showed back up, show instantly came back on my key ring. I said, so you put my key back on my key ring? You know what she said? No, I didn't. Do you hear what I said? She said, no, I didn't. In the back of my mind, the person who I am today, I'm gonna just tell you the person I am. I would, because everybody always says, in the back of my mind, something told me. This is the person that's telling you. This was the person that's telling me something's wrong with her, Linnell. Did you see the seriousness in her face? She really believes that she didn't do that. I knew, and still, even then, I still didn't leave. I'm like, okay, she's just playing. She must gonna tell me later. Absolutely not. She's still stuck to it month later, two later. I didn't do that. That's when I slowly started creating a plan in my mind. I just didn't know how I was gonna do it. Because I knew, because people really don't understand. There are people out there with mental problems. Do you hear me? A regular minded person will see somebody with a mental problem do something weird and be like, that's weird. Why you do that? Well, a person that's normal, you might say that to a person, but you don't know that might be normal for them. How I how I live my life today, if somebody says something or does something to me that I don't like, I always give them the benefit of the doubt that they may not know what they're doing or saying, right? So I confront them. So I say, hey man, hey, when you said or did blah blah blah, I didn't like that, or I didn't appreciate that, or whatever, right? So now I know that they know, and I know that they know. There is no confusion. So if they do it again, it's on purpose. Do you understand? James says these videos are so helpful. I never dated a narcissist, but grew up in a narcissist family. Wow. It all started with my grandpa marrying one. Wow. Hearing your perspective helps me connect a lot of the dots. Ain't that crazy? When you don't know, like when you're just a normal thinking person, you see somebody does something, you're like, wow, why are they doing that? That's weird, you know. But never once do I think to myself, this is how, okay, I want everybody to listen to this. And I'm going to say it slowly, not because you're slow, only because I want you to hear it. Okay. If you are in a relationship where with a person that punches you in the face and says they love you, that person that is punching you in the face, they do not know that they're not supposed to punch the people they love in their face. How do I know this? Because they're doing it. I do not need anybody to tell me that I am not supposed to, not listen, not even the law needs to tell me this, okay? Not even the law. No one needs to tell me that I am not supposed to punch the woman I love in her face because I'm mad. Nobody needs to tell me that. You know why? Because I already know. So if you're with a person or you see a person do that, they are physically showing you that they do not know is because they're doing it. You get it? That's how simple it is. It doesn't matter what they say afterwards. It doesn't matter what they, this made me do. It doesn't matter. They don't know that they're not supposed to do that. You stay far away from people that do not know they're not supposed to be physically abusive to the people they love. Now you hear me say that, that sounds like simple, idiotic. Who doesn't know that? Well, according to the law, millions of people don't know that every single year. There are tons of videos on TV every day, sitcoms of people beating each other and doing all this stuff. They're making money off of it. That's how. It's really not difficult to see a person. All you got to do is look at their life. Take the time. Don't don't jump straight into the bed with them, because sex, don't play with sex. Sex is the most powerful drug on earth. It confuses things. All you got to do is take your time, get to know them, look at their life. Soon as you start talking to them, do they start talking about all the problems and what they're having, and that's where you hang up and leave them. See ya. I don't have none of that in my life, and I'm not adding to it. Because people, for some reason, people love to talk about their problems instead of doing something about their problems. Like I said earlier, do they have stacks of unopened mail everywhere? uh when you come in their house, do they have just things that they needed to take care of, stuff they needed to get rid of, but it's been sitting there for years? That means there's something going on in their life. Those are red flag signs that you need to stay far away from that. Like, okay, say like this. Think about this, okay? Say like you're not even in a relationship with these people, okay? Say like it's just friends, maybe your work friends, and you guys get ready to go out to lunch and you get in their car and it's filthy. They're the inside, 99% chance the inside of their car will represent the inside of their life, no matter what they say, what they're talking about. It doesn't matter, because you get in the car, it's like there is no excuse for your car to look like this. Absolutely no excuse. Don't believe me? This is all you gotta do if you don't believe me. One day, go through a parking lot, but you'll probably end up looking like a thief, but go through a parking lot and just look in the windows of cars. Watch how many, and count, listen, and count how many cars you find full of trash, full of trash. That means their life is like that car, full of just stuff all over the place. The signs, the red flags of narcissists are everywhere, because that is the only perspective in which they live, and they believe it's the only one. They don't know it's the devil up in their brains controlling everything they're doing. They don't even know that. Don't be in a situation like me right now. If you're with a person and they got unexplained marks on their body from having sex with somebody else, that's what it is. You just don't want to accept it. Don't live like that. Don't do that. They're putting your life at risk. I'm gonna be making more and more of these random videos, because I'm gonna just make them as they come to me in my thoughts. I think it's important for you guys to hear it. Excuse me. Just like James said earlier, it connects the dots with people. It's like, wait a minute, that kind of explains so and so, so. Yeah, it sure does. Because it doesn't. Time is irrelevant. It doesn't even matter. A person could remember their auntie that was alive 20 years ago, that was used to acting a certain way, and they hear this video, they're like, that's why he or she was acting that way. Yes. This is forever, people. This is not, narcissists are not gonna just go away. It doesn't happen like that. But you can see them and they can't see you. They can't see me. They only can see me if they look at me. If a narcissist looks at me, then they'll see me, because I'll be looking right back at them. when they try to do the quick talk and all this, hey, you should, hey, no, I'm not doing any of that. No, no, no. Why not? Because I don't want to. That's why. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. Got a couple things to take care of, people. Thank you, everybody. Much appreciated. Share this if you enjoyed it. Share it. Leave a comment. If it's connecting the dots for you, let me know. It's going to help me too. Everybody's stories, especially the narcissistic stories, everybody's stories help me. They do. And if my videos help you, let me know that too. And then I'll know how to create the content, how to shape it. And therefore this channel will grow, because I'm going to repeat this now. I'm doing something that has never been done before, ever. This is brand new. I'm just as new as you. LJ, did you notice her personality in the beginning stage of the relationship, or you started noticing things once y'all moved together? No, well, yes and no. Okay, so the reason why I can tell you what I'm about to tell you, because my eyes are open and I can see. All right, so there were red flags in the beginning. Okay, like the first time we were supposed to meet, she missed her plane, blamed everybody else. It was everybody else's fault. I thought that was really weird. How'd you do that? I don't know, right? Uh, Another time she came up here, I think it was some guy stuff. A guy was calling her, "Oh, he's my friend." We no. The second red flag is, the second red flag was a guy that was on her Facebook. I forgot how this came up, but I said, "Hey, how come he's still on your Facebook? How come why don't you just remove him, since you guys are not blah blah blah?" She was like, "Oh, well, he gets mad when if you remove him as friends or something." I was like, "What?" He gets mad. I'm like, "What do you care if he gets mad?" That was a red flag. If I would hear something like that today, I would just never talk to the woman again, because obviously she still has something going on with the guy, right? But the biggest red flags were with her youngest son's father. They were clearly still seeing each other, because they were still argumentative, really emotional, and she was afraid to say anything bad to him, because she was afraid that he would get angry. I should have known right there that they were still involved, right? But it's pretty obvious now that I'm out of it. But just don't ignore when you don't. It's hard to say, because when you don't know a narcissist and they do something weird like that, it kind of throws you off and be like, why did they do that? You just don't. But those are narcissist red flags. So you really, good question, QJC. I like those questions, man. Love those questions. Any other questions before I go? Because I usually say that. Thank you for doing that, QJC. Any questions before I go? Let me make sure I say that. Because I know I can already see the purpose of this channel. I'm going to help a lot of people. I'm just going to help a lot of people that are in it. They believe there's no way out. I have to start all over. What nobody's gonna, just all the stuff the narcissist might have put in your mind. Are you gonna go through some pain? Yes, but it's okay. Just get through it. I promise you, you will be much happier on the other side. You will. My ex-wife used to use jokes as insults toward me. For example, she would call me a short bus. Short bus. Oh, okay, I get it. Special needs children ride the short buses, and joked about yep. I remember, you know what, Robert? I remember she was trying to. Now, I've always been a self-confident person my whole entire life, thanks to my mother, right? It was because of my mom, but when she used to do that, I used to think it was weird when she used to make comments about either my toes, or she would make a comment about my butt or something or something. I'm like, why does she keep doing that? I don't get it. I don't care that you don't like it. Okay, it's not because I've never had a problem with women at any point in my life. So I used to always think, why does she do that? Now I understand that that's what narcissists do. They try to break down your uh your self-confidence, right? By saying little things with jokes or little things like this. And I used to think, well, I don't know why you keep, to me, I was saying, I don't know why she keeps doing that because you're going to be hurt. And I think that's why they do it, because insults hurt them because they probably heard them all their life. But I used to say that to myself. If I turn around and talked about the way your stomach is hanging over, you would have a problem with that. I used to say that in my mind because her stomach was not appealing. Okay. Did your ex made insults at you but disguised them as jokes? Oh yeah, she did that. She used to do that all the time. She do that a lot, and it gets worse. It's like after a while, I was thinking in my mind, okay, they don't sound like jokes anymore. And plus, even if they were, you're saying these jokes a little too much. But to the man I am today, none of that would happen today. None of it. A woman like her would not even get close to enough to me to even make a derogatory reference towards me of any way, because she wouldn't even have the space to do it. There, she's a I can tell she's a woman that's going to be in her perspective of life probably for the rest of her life, because she's really bad. She's nowhere near she's nowhere near self-reflection at all, not even close. Not even close. And it's sad, really. It's pretty sad. It really is sad, but once you get over it, and this is for the people in it, and I'm gonna wrap this one up because I got to do a couple things. But once you get over it and your feelings are no longer there, you really just feel sad for them, because they are trapped in their own mind with all their deception and lies, and they can't run from it because they do it. They did it, and she's still doing it, I'm sure. And I don't care because it's not me. You know what I'm saying? I feel sorry for her son because he has to live with it. He has to see her go through all these men and this arguing and fighting, and oh my God, I can only now he has to endure the same thing his older brother endured. He's gonna have to go through it too now, unfortunately. It's sad. Mm. Makes me want to cry because I loved him, still do. And I can't do nothing about it. And and I've talked to people now that hear my videos and then they tell me what it's like being a child of narcissistic parents. I don't know what that's like, and but I hear the stories. That would have been horrible. Here I am, an adult with a narcissist that I can just leave and still take care of myself. And if I was a child, I couldn't do anything because this person takes care of me. Oh, can you imagine the food manipulation? Oh my goodness, I couldn't even imagine. I don't even want to get in. That's another video. See, and that's a video I would love to talk to some people that you don't even have to tell your name. You don't have to get on video. Just tell me what it's like. What was it like to be a child of narcissistic parents that you couldn't leave, you couldn't say anything? How did that affect you? Did you resist becoming like them? Did you maybe you turned into a narcissist? I don't know. It's all learning for me because I already know who I am. So I could talk to a narcissist. It wouldn't matter to me. It's all learning for me. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up. Being a child raised by narcissists is hell on earth. That's why that's the only way I can describe it. Damn. I can feel your words, James. I can feel your words because this is what I do. I read your words, add it to what I went through at a narcissist, and then add I can't do nothing about it either. It felt like that though. It felt like I couldn't do about it, but I could because I did because I'm an adult. But I think And this is just my perspective because I do not know and not claiming to know. Okay. It must take a strong mind not to get converted into one believing everybody is like that or parents or whatever, right? It's just because of a child of a mom that's not was far from a narcissist at all, none, love, right? I'm a kid going to school believing that everybody's mom is like my mom. Why else would I think otherwise? I'm a young child. Maybe that's why I couldn't stand bullies as a kid. I'm glad I wasn't a small child either. I'm glad about that. But now you think about bullies, maybe bullies are from narcissistic parents because since they have zero control at home, maybe the only control that they can experience is at school. Who knows? I'm not saying it's an excuse. I'm just giving you uh not even a reason. I don't even know what you want to call it. It's psychological. Hmm. Anyway, thanks for sharing, James. Much appreciated. Thanks, QJC. LJ, did you feel like you were so so much emotional invested and financially invested to just leave when you first started to notice the she was a person? Yeah. Uh, I what I did was, and I know now for QJC, this was part of my journey. Okay, and this is what I had made up in my mind before I met her. I said to myself, I wanted a relationship, a 100% love, unconditional, no cheating, no, just what it's supposed to be. Okay, this is what I asked for. And God said to me, if I want that, I have to give that, which makes sense. If I want the type of relationship that I'm asking for, I have to give that. So, what I did, unfortunately, I gave that to a narcissist because I didn't know that narcissists exist. But even though I did, she was still part of my journey because I had to learn about narcissists because they're everywhere. Okay, it's important. It's important to know that narcissistic people exist. This is very important. Okay. So I don't feel bad about giving my all, which I did. I gave everything. Okay. But in for doing what God asked me to do, he rewarded me on the other side for doing what he asked me to do. I did it. And he rewarded me handsomely for it, and he's still rewarding me every day. Great questions. QJC been rocking with me, Robert, James, for the new people that are just now joining. These people been with me for years. They're watching this growth. They know this is brand new. They're coming with me on this journey. This is brand new. They know I'm not here just talking crap, making up stuff to try to sell you something. No, I'm here to change your life forever, for generationally, not just yours. This right here has just been added to what I already know. This is just brand new to it, added to it. Once you understand this, there is no going back. I got to warn you about that. There is no going back. You don't just wake up and decide, hey, I've had enough of this new life. I'm going back to the old life. There is no going back. So that means you have to change everything in it: job, people, family, everything changes. And now you add narcissistic people on top of that, you're going to be removing a lot of people from your life. It's going to be uncomfortable too. Friends, first it's going to be the friends, and then it's going to be the family members. That's going to be the hard part, especially if it's your mama, your daddy, or your brother, or your sister. That's going to be really hard. but you got to do it if you ever want peace in your life. You ever want this? It takes sacrifice. Doesn't hey, if the person that's if there's a person in your life that's hurting you and they get upset about you removing them from your life, that's their problem. I don't care if it's your mama. Hey mom, when you do or say this, that really hurts me. It hurts me so much it makes me cry. Can you stop doing that? And she says, no, that's okay. See you later. Nobody gets a pass. Do you understand me? I don't care what anybody thinks. I am in a place that I have zero stress, zero debt, zero problems. The majority of people forget about that thing in the thing in their skull called a brain. In order for that thing to repair itself, you need good ass sleep. That thing runs 24 hours a day and you give it no rest. What do you think's happening? I get plenty of sleep. Plenty. I love it. Why? Because my brain loves it. I'm sharper than ever. Why? Because my brain gets sleep. That's why. Not stress sleep, not problem build thinking about sleep, not the sleep that's stressed out caused by another person hitting you and cheating on you, not that kind of sleep. I get the kind of sleep that I have none of that in my brain sleep. You want to know what that's like? A newborn baby. Only newborn babies get that kind of sleep that I'm telling you about. Only because they don't know about it. I know about it. I just don't allow it in my life. That's it. You guys have a wonderful evening. Talk to you later.